Hello, welcome, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It just depends on where you're at in the world, but it is a greeting for you. So we're all feeling something right now. What are you feeling right now that would best describe what you've been working on today? I know the world is opening back up and people are getting back to their lives, back to their jobs. Maybe you haven't quite got back to your profession or what you were doing before, or maybe you have. It just depends. But what are you feeling right now? As you know, the subconscious mind, and this is neurophysics, the subconscious mind is the supercomputer we have that controls everything we do. We breathe, we eat, we sleep, we're awake. Everything we hear, everything we do, our actions, specifically our actions, are controlled by our superbrain, which is our subconscious mind. So, do you really know what the feelings are you have, whether they're good or bad, or whether they're helping you or hurting you? This is a huge question, and this has come across, and it's a lot to deal with. But again, this is neuroscience because the brain works in mysterious ways. And the brain actually works on the program that we have. And each person, aside from the functionality of our brain to swallow, to eat, to breathe, to see, everything we do has a function. And the brain controls that function. So when that part of the brain gets shut off or it gets damaged, then that function in our bodies is not working, correct? We can all agree on that. That, again, is neuroscience. So, you know your subconscious mind is your superbrain. But what is your superbrain? What program are you working? What program is running in your mind right this minute? I don't care what happened a year ago. I don't care what happened 6 months ago. I'm asking you to focus on what is happening right now. What are the feelings you have between good or bad for you, for your lifestyle, for what you're doing? And I know there's been a lot of feelings with everything that's gone on in the world, and a lot of people are up and down, and there's so many emotions, and there's so many excuses as to why this is and why that is. And we can't go through life making excuses for the things we do or the things that we have come about. If you go around making excuses for things that are happening around you, or maybe things that you're doing, we're going to focus on today what you're doing, you specifically. Because if you're trying to focus on everybody else, why? You cannot change anybody else. You cannot change. All you can do is change yourself first. And you'll find that when you change yourself first and you are in vibration, you're more likely to attract those people that are in the vibration that you are in. So your feelings can be good and bad. And they are always sent out from your mind, from your brain, or your heart brain, or your brain, to guide you in the best way that your subconscious can. See, your subconscious is there to protect you. The brain, and the way this is explained in neuroscience, is your brain is there to protect you from what you might do, or what you will do, or what you won't do. It's there to keep you on track with the program that you have. But you know, anyone out there who has a computer, who knows anything about the brain, or knows anything about computers and programs, you could always change the program, right? We've all done this. We've all gone through this in our lives of learning different skills. You've learned different skills, correct? You've learned different things. Feeling between what is good and bad for you. There we go. Is good or bad for you. And okay, we're just going to take this one step further here for you today. As you're going through and you're looking at yourself, you say, okay, I can see that. I can see where all this that's happened has changed my thoughts. I'm blaming the world. I'm blaming everybody else around me for what I'm going through. And that's a fact because you cannot control everybody else. You cannot control what other people do. You can only control what you do. In fact, you can only control how you feel. And your feeling and what you're doing about that will affect your life and what you are and what you are creating and who you are becoming. Because we don't want to stay in the same mindset that we started out in. Even if we were in a super positive mindset where everything was flowing to us, we want to keep growing. We want to keep improving that mindset. We want to keep evolving our energy. Growing and learning is what we're meant to do. So why are we not doing it? Why are we sitting on the sidelines making excuses for why we haven't done something? Making excuses for why something hasn't worked. The only excuse you can logically give as to why something hasn't worked is because you haven't applied yourself to learn the skills, to learn the training, and to learn what you needed to have your skills come to fruition for you. So take control of your mind by stepping out of the fear, stepping out of the bad feelings. Have you noticed, this is a thing, have you noticed that you will get a feeling when you go to do something new? It could be just you're going to learn something new. You're going to try something new. When you go to learn something new, you go to implement something, do you get that feeling? Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in your gut. Maybe it's somewhere in your feeling. You're feeling like, oh, I really want to change my life. I really want to have a different style. I really want to be that person. And then all of a sudden, you get that feeling. And it stops you dead in your tracks. That feeling of, this isn't right for you right now. You probably shouldn't do this right now. This probably isn't the right thing for you. No, you better not do that. All these little things come up and you'll get different. What the mind does is it gives you different feelings and pictures will run through your mind of things that aren't good. If your mind does not want you to change, the mind is protecting you. Your subconscious mind is always and foremost protecting you. It does not realize that in order to have more money, to have a better home, to have a better vehicle, to have food on the table, your mind does not know that you have to change who you are to bring that about. Your mind doesn't know. It's not its fault. It's the program that your mind has. And don't start blaming your parents or your aunts and uncles and everybody around you. They did not know this either, or they would have taught you this. This is why the top 1%, 5% of the people in the world are successful and strive to be more successful because they were taught this. And their brain did not go through the drama and the trauma that yours did. And that is okay because you have the tools at your disposal right here, right now, to change that brain pattern that you have. This is all neuroscience, and it comes down to not just a philosophy. It is a philosophy in life that you can change this and how to change it. You can do this and you can change your subconscious thinking. What I've found, and granted, everyone knows, I grew up believing I could do anything I wanted. And I taught my girls that too. You can have anything in the world you want. You just got to reach for it and grab it. So, when I've ever had different things pop up in my life as I was trying new things, and something happened, or if I was going to do something and I got that feeling, it was so strong, it was so bad. And if it was that certain feeling, and you will know the difference between a feeling of, no, don't actually do this, or the feeling of, no, this is not good, I shouldn't be doing this. There's two different frequencies that these go on. And I found out that an experiment that I did was I consciously, subconsciously started to do something that a part of me knew was wrong, and I started to do it anyway, and I found I had that feeling. So I categorized it, and I wrote it down in my journal, and I looked at it, and I stopped. I didn't, of course, didn't follow through on it, but then I was doing something else. I was going to learn a new system, a new strategy. And as I had that feeling of, no, you don't need this, you don't need that, you're fine, you don't need to do that. It was a different feeling. It was more of a feeling of, no, I'm going to protect you from this, you don't need to get into this, you don't need to learn this. So as I did, I was learning between the good feelings I was having and the bad feelings. And this was several years ago that I started this little disc experiment. And I proceeded to experiment more and more with the good feelings and the bad feelings that our subconscious gives us. And you can research this through neuroscience because it is documented. So if you get confused or you're not sure which way to go, you know, there is neuroscience to back up everything that we're talking about here. But when you recognize that your subconscious is your mind protecting you in any way it can, with giving you, like I said, different feelings, different pictures, because the mind doesn't know words. Your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, they do not know words. They relate to pictures and vibration. So if you want to learn something new and you don't have it in your program and your subconscious mind is getting in the way, then acknowledge that, okay, this is something new that we're going to do. And I'm hearing a lot of people who are starting their home business, who are getting started, and a lot of people are because of this thing that's been going on. And they decided, you know, which I can totally relate to, you can't depend on another company to take care of you. You have to step up and take care of yourself. So they're finding that they're coming into different conflicts with themselves of having the vibration, having the feeling of, well, no, this isn't good, that I have to learn this. And if you have to learn something new, you have to put it into a context that your subconscious mind won't try to deter you from. So by doing that, you acknowledge it, okay, this is something new. You could tell yourself this with your conscious brain by giving yourself encouragement. Okay, we're learning this new step, we're learning this system. This is going to be good because we're going to learn how to do this, and we're going to take this step, we're going to take this system, this strategy, this skill that we're learning, and we're going to grow and be better and better. And when you do that into a positive frame, and I mean a positive talk, a self-talk, your subconscious mind is less likely to interfere. You'll probably have some residuals where it'll give you little flutters here and there, especially if you're having a hard time learning a new skill. If you're having a hard time learning a new skill, not everyone is techie. Okay, you don't have to be techie to work online. You don't have to be. Because what I found out and what I do, because I am not techie. I can do things and I can figure things out and I can figure programs out. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but I can work through it, and I've learned how to do that, and you will too. But what I found helped me the best was being in a community where people know what I don't know, and therefore they teach me, they show me, I learn by being in a community of people that know what I don't know. Because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it. Simple. I know it's a little bit of a tongue twister there, but it's true. So use your feelings and your vibrations, bad or good. Just know the difference between the two. And like I said, a lot of times the subconscious will give you the inclination that everything is bad because it's protecting you. But as you're growing and as you're building and as you're learning, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have falls. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. And that's okay. Because if you fail, then you learn that didn't work. That's okay. Because then you know what does work. That's the key right there, guys. Know your feelings. Know your vibrations. Know what your subconscious is doing. When you can acknowledge that, it's more neuroscience than anything else because it's there. It's right there. It's in front of us. We can see it, hear it, feel it, touch it because it's a vibration. And then granted, you can't see the vibration, but you can see the results of a vibration. You can see where that comes from. Okay? So please take this to heart, and any questions, comments, or anything, I look forward to seeing all your successes. And anyone out there who is growing your business and you're getting off and you're growing and you're being successful, there's some things that you don't want to do. And you want to get with people that know what not to do as much as people that know what to do. Okay? It is that easy. And I like things simple, and I don't like to make things complicated. So please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that dinger bell over here on YouTube, and let's get together and see if we can change some lives. Okay? Okay, guys, I will talk to you later, and have a super blessed day.